Hello, this is Kelly Acheson coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. Today I have a really fun technique to show you. It's a background technique that you do with rubber bands. That's what I've got right here on my card. This is the new Going Global stamp set. I'm in love with it. It's perfect for the men in your life, whether it be birthday, get well. You can use the images in here for just about anything. Very masculine looking. So let's get started and I'll show you how to do this. First thing I've done here is I've just taken a scrap sheet and laid it down. I've got my layer of cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5. And I've taken some Post-it notes and I've put them together here. And I am just going to put these on my card, however wide you want your rubber band layer to be. There we go. And I'm going to pick this up and look at the back to make sure that everything looks straight, and it does look pretty good. So I'm using basic gray ink for my background. Let me just move this out of the way. I've also taken one of our blocks. This is a D size block, and I've just wrapped a bunch of various sizes of rubber bands around it. You notice they're twisted and turned and nothing's perfect here. So we're just going to ink those rubber bands up. And we're going to stamp them in our area that we have masked off. And you want to just do it several times. And notice that I didn't re-ink between those 3 stamped images. And you're going to fill it up just as much as you would like in here. And that looks good to me. Now I can take this and clean this on my Stampin' Scrub, so you can just clean it and you'll be ready for the next color that you want to use. I also took a sponge and I wanted to add, a little more definition here. So I'm just going to take and very lightly sponge in some gray color here. And this actually, when you're done with it, looks like an extra layer on your cardstock. So this is a really good technique if you are looking for a quick and easy card, or you don't have a lot of supplies. Maybe you're a beginner. There we go. And now for the reveal. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now for the rest of our card here. I'm going to take our globe. I'm stamping this in black ink. This is a fairly big image and it has some solid areas on it, so I just want to take a look at it and make sure you've got it inked up good. I'm just stamping this on a scrap of Whisper White. We're going to punch that out. The 2-inch circle punch is perfect for this. And then I'm going to take my globe and mount it on dimensionals. And I've cut out another layer using my circle framelit. So this is 2 inches, this is 2 1/4. This is done in our gold glimmer paper. Don't you just love that? It's like, wow, that's blingy. Blingy, but not too blingy. We want to keep it masculine. And then I'm going to glue that right onto our layer. I want to make sure my globe is right side up here. There we go. I took a strip of Designer Series paper. This is about 3 inches long and I cut it at an angle here. It's a 1/2 inch wide. And then I took just a little more than 1/4 inch wide of the gold glimmer and also cut it at an angle here. This is the Going Places Designer Series paper stack. Some great masculine layers in here. Love the paper. I'm going to get my stapler here. And I'm just going to offset these a little bit on my layer. So I'm just going to kind of hold them up here. I'm going to let them go off the top a little bit because we can trim that in a second. Another thing I wanted to do to keep the gold going here is to bring in some sequins. Gold sequins, keeping the card masculine. This handheld stapler is really nice. I've used it a lot. So I'm just going to staple that in place. And again, with the staple, that's kind of all masculine. Stick in there so you've got your man card. Cut that off. And then we're going to stamp our greeting, which is, "You mean the world to me." Now, who could I give this card to? It would definitely be a great card for one of my brothers for their birthdays, because they do mean the world to me. Love them to death. And then last but not least, I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen. I'm going to use the metallic sequin assortment, and these are the neutrals. And I'm just going to pull out some gold and black stars. You can see these. You get all kinds. You get round, you get stars. There's hearts in there. We've got silver, gold, black, clear. This is a really nice assortment, and I'm thinking it'll probably last me for the rest of my life. There's a lot of sequins in there. So I'm just going to dot some glue around, and I'll get these all on here, and I'll be back in just a minute so I can show you. Okay, so here's all the sequins on the front. I pulled some sequins off of my trim here and added those. We've got stars all over the place. Can you see that bling? Isn't that pretty? Okay, now for the rest of our card. I took a layer of the Going Places Designer Series stack. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to add that underneath this layer. Oops. And this is just 4 by 5 1/4. And this actually inspired me to use the gold on here, because this layer of Designer Series paper looked like it would go well with the gold. For the background, I chose Sahara sand, because that's what the color is that's really in this background paper. So I'm going to add that to the front of my card. This card is cut 4 1/4 by 11 and scored in the middle at 5 1/2. Okay, so there's our spectacular card. On the inside, I did the same thing. I added that layer. I cut my white layer a little bit smaller so you could really see that Designer Series paper. This is actually 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And then I used the Happy Birthday stamp from the Perfect Pairings. This is a free celebration stamp set this month. So there you go. Anniversary, birthday. This could be a great Valentine card. And I'll show you a picture of all the products that I used at the end of the video. So try out the rubber band technique. It's really fun, and it adds a lot of interest to your card. Let me show you another one I made here. This is a little more girly. I'll give you all the details on this on my blog, so I'll feature this card. Beautiful stamp set also, but we use the rubber band technique here too. So thanks so much for joining me today. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be happy to earn your business. Pop me an email at kelly@astampabove.com. And make sure you hop on over to my blog, astampabove.com, and check out the other amazing, creative, fun ideas that I have on there. Add a little sparkle to somebody's day. Send them a card.